Hello everyone again. And, this is the second part of the video. And this time we'll just skip over to the bridge. And we've just sat by the riverbank. And it's still a lovely sunny day. It's still a bit breezy on this one. The wind's kind of blowing that way, so and Carroll Bridge is just down there a wee bit. I've just come up the trail a little bit. Car park just behind the ground. So yeah, I thought I would just talk about in this video just a little bit about my last four roles, and my recent one, and the one before that, and just to kind of give you a kind of feel what sort of roles I've been doing and the differences between them, etc. Anyway, so basically in 2010 I was obviously made redundant from the South West Cooperative, and after that I joined we had a year. It was a year gardening leave for a year actually. I forgot to mention that. So that was quite nice. So we had a year off, and but we were still being paid. You know, but I still didn't start looking for another job until the last 3 months of that year. So that's when I joined a little primary school, and that was that was quite good. It was very bad for part-time kind of thing. Do you know what? It was a super easy job, and obviously at that point, you know, I kind of needed to have a mortgage, etc., etc. I needed to go back into something a bit higher paid. And whilst it was a lot of fun, it was sad to leave, you know. The little kids at the school were fabulous, and it was a really positive environment, you know. So basically I did a little bit of contracting roles for a few months here and there, one for a company called JD, you probably remember them, and a couple of others, and which were great, but they were kind of short roles. And but and then the next permanent role that came up with for me was the range in Plymouth, working with crystals, not really directly, and the salary, it was £23,000. You know, do you know what? I could probably do something like that now, really. You know, something like that would probably be fine. But what was really interesting, I don't know if it resonates with any of you guys, even though the money was really quite low, the working environment and the people were absolutely fantastic, and it was the people that made it fun, made it bearable, and I don't know if you find that. Do you find the higher paid jobs are really high paid, but it's the people that it's not so good? You don't have so much fun. I don't get me wrong. I don't know. I don't expect to go to, but you know, surely it makes the whole thing a little bit more, you know, bearable. Anyway. So I went to the range. I did that for 3 years, and it was obviously very low pay. So I wanted to kind of, you know, continue to move up and to kind of try and better myself. So that's when I joined NHS Digital, and that was and believe it or not, I didn't have much Linux experience at that time, and I had a tiny bit of the range. It was mostly servers, networking, general support for third line. It was a third line support role. So I moved into NHS Digital. That was paying, I think, around the 40 mark, and that was for supporting a product that NHS One uses called Directory of Service, or DOS, How to Raise Dogs, it was called, and there's a duck swimming by here. It's such a lovely place to visit. You know, I used to come here as a kid. Anyway, so NHS Digital was fantastic, and I remember the first time on my first day, we went in and I met Simon, who was my manager, and we went upstairs for a coffee, and it just, one lady came up to me and just said, "Who are you?" And "You're new here," you know, and we just, the connections and the conversations and just the warmth, the welcoming that I had from being in NHS Digital was second to none, really. It was brilliant, and the people were brilliant, and we had a lot of fun, and I had a work wife, and we had a fabulous team, and they were all so supportive. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was, some days were a little bit hectic, you know. I was looking after the biggest hot potato in the NHS system, so I kind of went to the release team, working with Linux and all the rest of it, and that's kind of when my kind of Linux skills really kind of moved up a notch, you know. But unfortunately, it was 4 years, and we were put on a bus and taken up to the just up the road from us. We're told that unfortunately there's cats coming our way, and there will be casualties, you know. And my kind of stomach dropped really at that point. I thought, oh god, I just had a bad feeling, you know. And it was such a shame. But you just have that gut feeling sometimes, and it was right, it felt right up until that point, you know. I just thought, oh crap. So we had to go through literally reapplying for our jobs, you know. And we had to fill out this application form, to go to, you know, you're either successful or you're put on the risk, the naughty step. And lo and behold, I was put on the naughty step. And I wonder if, even now, they knew who they were going to kind of, you know, who they were going to get rid of. So I was only there 4 years, so the redundancy wouldn't have been worth it. But there were people there with kind of 35, 40 years, and they kept their jobs, you know, and I played, you know. And so the next stage, at that point, it was at that point when I got told I was under the, I was at risk. That's the word they use. You're at risk. It's then when I started applying for new jobs, you know. And lo and behold, a few weeks later, PKF Francis Clark, who's a chartered accountant in Devon, West Country, they come to my rescue. And I got my job, and I remember going to my bosses to hand my notice in, and they hurried me into a room, and they just said, this is Jesus. They said, you can't leave. They were really shocked. I was the first person to go, you know. We are a big department, and I was the first person to, and I just felt the ship was sinking underneath me. I had to jump. I could see my next ship, you know, and I had to go to it. I had to swim to it. What else can I do? I was at risk. I just knew I was going to, you know. Well, I didn't know, but I just had a feeling. So I moved over, and I moved over to Francis Clark, but after the last day, everybody came around my desk, and you know, it was a massive send-off, and I do miss the guys, you know. I really do miss being there. And there was a test, where we had to do a test to get your job. That was the next level. So you had to do the application, and if you got past that, you were safe. But if you didn't, which I did, you had to then take a test, you know. There were lots of people, that lost their jobs, you know, and Simon, my boss, was one of them, and there was many others. I can hear somebody. I try to find somewhere quiet, you know what I mean, because I don't like to be talking to myself. People look at me as if I'm a bit weird. But anyway, I think there may be a dog coming over. A naughty dog. Yeah, he's swimming. It's a lovely dog swimming. I used to bring Sam here, but he doesn't swim anymore. Not unless I'm in there. But anyway, I'm very sad to leave NHS Digital. But I joined Francis Clark, and I don't know if this relates to anybody or if this resonates, but the connections you feel, it's like a family kind of bond, if that makes sense. I don't know if family is the right word, but just the connections are so great, and I think I miss that. I think I miss that connection with people, you know, and it's weird because it sounds contradictory. I think I'm a bit of an introvert, and at the end of this video, I found something on YouTube. I'll read to you guys, which kind of I found it resonates with me, but it's weird because one hand I think I am, the next minute I'm not. I don't know. I'll read it to you. Let's see what you think. But yeah, I joined PK Francis Clark. I worked with our systems team, and that was a really nice bunch of guys. There was just one guy that I kind of tended to avoid. Do you know when you're back at school when you there's always somebody in the playground that you just want to avoid? Is it like that at the workplace? Yeah, of course it is. You know, it happens, and it doesn't happen very often. But I'm so perceptive, and I just there was just one guy that used to was a bit it was a bit hard work. But anyway, I did that for 2 years, and I moved into the doctor because most of my work was Linux related. Anything Linux, it was Andy. Anything Linux, Andy. Anything AWS, Andy. Anything web-based as well. A lot of infrastructure around the website as well, and DNS record changes, CNAME record changes, and stuff. So I worked with the marketing team to help them out as well, and that was really nice bunch of guys. So yeah, I moved over, and then our boss said, "Do you want to come and eat your line more with us?" So I said, "Yes, absolutely, get me in there," because I'd much rather he was my manager, to be honest. And it was a great bunch of guys. So I worked with the development team. There was only about 9 or 10 of us, and yeah, again, really fabulous bunch of guys. I can't say how nice it was working there. And sometimes you run into the office, sometimes we ran out, we did some kind of walks on the moor, so we went to like team days out, and we did a kayaking day, and we did a day in Exeter, kind of doing activities and stuff. It was so much fun. But unfortunately, what happened in PKR Francis Clark, they hired this new chief information officer, which we kind of put a cat amongst the pigeons, really. And when he joined, the first thing I said to Tony, I just thought, I've got an uneasy feeling about this, And I don't know, I've got no evidence. It's all about claim. All I know is feeling. You know what I'm saying? And Tony, my boss, he had big issues with this guy, and he was trying to make changes that were just not aligning really with our dev team, and there was talk of outsourcing, and consequently my boss left, and he rang me up one day and he just said, I've done it, I've resigned. And I just thought, it's almost like, I was gutted, absolutely gutted to lose him and my boss. And because we had such a good rapport and great camaraderie, and he wasn't a local manager or anything like that. He was just such a lovely guy. I was gutted really, because I just thought, but prior to that we lost 2 other developers and things were getting a bit sketchy. And I started looking for, where I kind of just thought, I'm going to have to move. So I kind of started looking around. There wasn't much going on at the time. It was pretty quiet. And I was informed that they were going to move me back into the systems team, and that kind of didn't really work for me, unfortunately. And it was working with systems that I didn't really want to work with, because I was quite happy in DevOps and Linux and AWS, etc. and Azure as well. And so I just said no. So I resigned. I kind of resigned from that role, and so. But oddly, literally, I had to do 3 months. 3 months notice for that role. It's very unusual to do 3 months, and so excuse me. So I started to look around, and that's when Ticketmaster came to my website. Oh my god! I hope this isn't a pattern here. And this lovely chap introduced me to Ticketmaster. I had 2 great interviews with the guys that I'll be working with, and really high pay. And this is kind of where it gets interesting, because it was kind of, dare I say, 60k plus. It's not to be sniffed at, so to be honest, I felt like I won a lottery. The way the agency kind of congratulated me, it was like, they sent me free gifts, and I just thought, wow, this is incredible. I've really hit the jackpot with this one. And that's why I spent the last 9 months doing DevOps, and I must admit, 2 months into that role, I'll be completely honest, I thought, oh shit, I've bitten off more than I can chew. I'll be completely honest with you, I was well over my head. And it was infrastructure, complete infrastructure, was code, and it's right out of my comfort zone. And it wasn't a large team that I could kind of lean on or help me or develop in my own at my own pace. It was incredibly, the delivery times for projects were tight. There was a lot of kind of out of hours kind of work as well, and we had to be on PagerDuty and all that sort of stuff, which when I say PagerDuty, I don't mean a physical pager. It's just an app, So you had to be Fire Chief for the week. That was going to develop into weekends and stuff, and it was incredibly fast paced, very stressful, but what was also different was I had no connection with anybody. I felt completely isolated, completely on my own, and it was just not a fun place to be. I remember we had daily stand-ups. In my last role at PKF, we just did one on a Monday, and that was fine. That's enough, everything was Jira ticket based, bloody tickets. Raise a ticket for this, raise a ticket for that. Not much communication between people, and very change orientated, which is fine. Change management is absolutely fine, because that kind of protects you as a systems engineer. But there was just no kind of connection really, and I just knew at that point, 2 months in, I thought I'm either going to get fired or I'm going to walk, And so the work was incredibly difficult and very, very technical work, and I just think it was just, I'll be honest, it was just too much really. I could have done it if I would have had a bit more time and the right kind of people were. I'm not blaming, but I think if there were just more people there, I could have teamed up with somebody who just learned. The infrastructure was so massive and so vast, it just, there was stuff there that I've not touched, but I gave it a good go, and I pressed on, month 3, month 4, month 5, month 6, and it was only till things got a little bit tricky. My boss kind of went on a 2-week holiday, and he gave me a load of tasks. I did say to him that one particular task that I'm not particularly comfortable with, because it was making big changes that could affect many systems on many levels, and could be a little bit risky, and I was on my own at that point, and I did not want to do that change. Those changes while my lead manager was away, because I thought, if I go into hot water, I've got nobody to kind of assist me into fixing stuff, right? And so I didn't do that. I did all the rest of the stuff. That was just that one thing that I didn't do. And he came back off holiday, and he was on me straight away in the morning, and he rang me up and he just said, I just need to chat to you about some of the things you didn't do. And I said, that's cool, and but his words were, he was really disappointed with me that I didn't complete all the tasks, and wow, I was kind of like shocked really. And I thought to myself, there's a lot in the world to be disappointed about, you could be disappointed with your wife sleeping with your best friend, you could be disappointed in the government, UK government, taking away or potentially taking away bus passes for retired and elderly pensioners. There's a lot in this world to be disappointed about, but kind of me just not completing one task, which, when I actually did do it when he came back, it caused all sorts of trouble, and I was really glad that I didn't do it. But anyway, he said to me, just expect a call from the director, and I was just like, ooh, so in a nutshell, he's headmaster, and headmaster's going to be spanking me. And I was just like, wow, and so yeah, so I just thought, what, I've never experienced this before. This kind of really doesn't, this environment really doesn't kind of work for me. I don't think. What do you guys think? If you ever, all the years all the companies I've been working at, I've never had anybody say that. It's a bit harsh. I think it's a little bit harsh, But anyway, so that's where I am today, and here I am sat on the bank of the River Plym drinking coffee. So we'll be heading off shortly, and I'm going to get back home and do some more editing and do some more comments for you guys, and I really appreciate some of the comments. Being fabulous. I think my leg's going to go into cramp, so I haven't sat down too long. And I just love being outdoors here. But let me read to you this passage that it's very quick. So where are we? 25 minutes in. That's not too bad. Yes, I am an introvert. I'm not shy. I'm a noticer. I'm a thinker. I'm an observer. I'm not stuck up. I'm not antisocial. I treasure my solitude. I'm not a fan of small talk. I prefer close friends. I am reserved until I'm not. I appreciate true connection. And if we connect, you matter to me. Does that resonate? It resonates with me. Does that resonate with any of you guys? And I just wanted to reiterate how important connection is in the workplace. I think it's so important. So I'll leave that thought with you guys. It's been a pleasure, obviously. It's always a pleasure to make these videos for you, and there's going to be lots more coming up, and thank you so much for your continued support. It really, I can't tell you how that, there's a world. I'm so pleased for you being here, and for you to be able to share this with you guys, and for you to share your experiences with me as well. It means a lot, so thanks. Anyway, onwards and upwards, eh? Alright guys, lovely chatting. I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.